It's January 21st. Let's start some seeds. Wait. Pause. Just because you can start seeds doesn't mean you should. We could start these tomatoes right now. But in my opinion, this is one of the largest mistakes that gardeners make, especially when we get antsy. This is a mistake that I fell into. It's certainly a mistake that I've seen a lot of gardeners make online. They start posting pictures of their garden. They say, I started my tomatoes. I'm so excited. And you'll see people say, isn't it a little too early for tomatoes? And I gotta admit, I've fallen into this mistake. I have made this mistake so many times. And in today's episode, we're gonna talk all about how starting early can actually be one of the largest reasons your garden fails. Here's why starting earlier isn't always better. Now, if you're like me, you think, all right, it's late January, and late January is pretty close to February. Well, February is the last real month of winter for us here in Michigan. Once we get into March, we enter a warming cycle, which that kind of coincides with being able to plant in late March some of our cold weather crops right out into the garden. And then in early to mid-April, we're planting out most of our garden. Maybe some of our warmest weather stuff stays until like the end of April, possibly at the latest early May. So in a lot of ways, when we talk through how close spring is, it does feel like it's right around the corner. And in a lot of cases, it is. But in plant days, it is not right around the corner. Take, for example, these tomatoes. If you look on the back of every seed packet, and it's a good quality seed packet like you get over at MIgardener.com, it should show the amount of days to maturity. Now, the days to maturity is the amount of days it takes from the moment the seed sprouts to form viable fruit. And if you look on the back of most of these tomato packets, you're going to find a range from anywhere from around 55 days on the low end up to about 90 to 95 days on the high end. That's how many days it takes for that fruit to be forming. Now, that is not accounting for the days to germination, which is generally sometime around like 5 to 10 days. You can add that in, and it still doesn't matter. Here's why. Let's say we started these tomatoes today. Okay, we got the Bonnie Best and we got the Homestead tomato. I just grabbed these two off the shelf. I'm not actually going to start these today because it would be absolutely insane for us to start them for us. If I started them today, January 21st, let's go out 30 days. That is February 21st. February 21st, a whole month away, 30 days. We're just in late February, and already 30 days have passed. Go another 30 days, March 21st. Another 30 days, that is 60 days have elapsed. Okay, and we're not even into the end of March. We're already at 60 days. That means that you go another 30 days when we would typically barely be able to plant a tomato outside. Fringe. We're talking April 31st. 90 days would have elapsed. 90 days. Now, I know that when we explain spring, it feels really quick. It feels like it's just in the rearview mirror and it's getting closer and closer every day. Well, it's a lot like that saying on the mirror. Throw a picture of it where it says, these objects in the mirror appear closer than they really are. So you want to make sure that when you're planning these things, right? So when you plan your tomatoes, 60 to 80 days means that if you planted a tomato seed today, you're going to have fully formed plants with viable fruit forming on them before you can even get them in the garden. And before you think that's a good thing, stop. I'll explain why it's the worst thing in the world. So if we were starting our seeds in our greenhouse or our grow room, regardless, we were going to start our seeds in something like this. This is a 200 cell tray. And in our 200 cell tray here, each one of these cells are roughly 3/4 of an inch. Now, if you know anything about a tomato, if we started them right now, imagine a tomato growing in this for 90 days. It's just flat out impractical. I think both you and I, even if you're the most inexperienced gardener in the world, you know what a full-size tomato plant looks like. 2-3 feet tall, starting to flower. Ain't working in this. So that means we have to do what's called up pot or transplant. Up potting just means you move it to a larger size container. And then we would do that normally. We expect to do that. Usually we move them from something like this into something like this. This is what I was filling dirt in for the intro of this video. So these right here, this is a 5 by 12. So there are 60 cells in here. This is a 60 cell tray. And that means that each one of these cells are almost about 1.5 inches to about 1.75 inches in length and width. Nice little square cells here. And even if we have this tray, 10 days to germinate. So we haven't, we're just kind of killing time waiting for them to germinate. Once they germinate in here, we only have about 14 to maybe 20 days at most before they have to get moved. So let's assume 20 days. 10 days to germinate, plus 20 days for them to move from this into this. It means 30 days have elapsed. You still have 60 days left. Still have 60 days left? Well, you move them into a larger container with more fertilizer, more soil, more space. They're going to grow even faster, believe it or not. The rate at which they grow picks up. The more soil, the more nutrients, the more fertility and room they have to grow, they will continue to grow. And faster they'll grow. Put them in this, they're not staying in this for 60 days. There's no way they're staying in this for 60 days. So then you got to move those. So you start with this, you move to this, but it's not a 1-for-1 match because this is 200, this is 60. 200 goes into 60 like 3.5 times. That means that you're going to need 3.5 of these to hold all the plants that were in here. That means you need 3.5 times more space. And you still are only going to have your tomatoes in here for about another 10 to 20 days, depending on how fast they grow in their environment. So if you have, sprouting takes 10 days, 20 days in that. Then you have another 10 to 20 days. You're at a total of about 40 to 50 days, and you have to move it again. And you're not going to move it into something moderately larger. You're going to have to move it into something substantially larger, like a 3-inch pot or possibly even a 5 or a 6-inch pot for a single plant. And how much space is that going to take? Well, that's going to take, you can fit about 18 3-inch pots in the same amount of space. So what was one tray turned to 3.5 trays, which then is going to turn into like, I don't know, 18 goes into 200, bad at math, 10 times, 10.5 times. It's 10.5, 180, 180. 11. So you're going to have 11 trays. Come that point when they need to be moved at the 50-day mark. You go from this to 11 trays. Where do you have room for 11 trays? And it's not even done yet. You got to wait, then they grow. You will be so overrun and run out of space, and you can't just leave them in an environment like this for 90 days. Because again, a 90-day tomato plant is going to be this tall, fruiting, flowering, ready to rock. So what ends up happening? Stress ends up happening. Stress is a reason why your plants will suffer. If you move them from here to here, the reason why you do that is because you don't want them to be stressed. They run out of space. It's no different than if your shoe size got larger, your foot size got larger, but your shoe size stayed the same. Your feet are going to hurt. They're going to be cramped. I'm a size 13. I got big feet. And you know what they say about big feet? Big brain. But here's the thing. If I stayed my shoe size in a shoe size 10, my toes would be I would never be able to walk more than a mile. it would be so uncomfortable and it'd be very stressful. Same thing applies to your plants. If you have them started in a cell like this, moving them in a cell like this is a good step. But you do that to reduce stress. Moving them into here and keeping them in here is only going to last so long before they have to get moved again. And so starting earlier is not always better. And in a lot of cases, it's far worse. It's far worse. And it leads to stressed seedlings. Now, stressed seedlings, you might think, that's fine. They'll stay stressed until I move them out in the garden, and then they'll be unstressed. Wrong. If a plant stays stressed for too long, what ends up happening is it ends up stunting the plant, stopping growing entirely, will reduce overall yields, could potentially kill the plant entirely. It also is more prone to pests and disease. And on top of all of that, even if you overcome all of those things, you have what's called transplant shock or stress shock. And that is the amount of time it takes to acclimate and to regrow and heal and overcome that stress. That means that it takes extra time when you could have started, like if we waited till early March, which is the earliest I'm willing to start tomatoes, early March. If I started in early March, my tomatoes, I will be just as far along, if not potentially several weeks further along, than if I was to start right now and force the issue. It does absolutely no good whatsoever. Now, there are some exceptions. If you're growing for fun and you want to grow a plant to full maturity indoors, just make sure that you have a pot large enough. Growing like micro tom tomatoes, we actually sell some over at MIgardener. They're really cool. They're called Tiny Tim. They're a lot of fun. Growing an indoor garden is different than growing seedlings. This is all about growing seedlings for your garden outdoors. I've had plenty of times where I wanted to grow herbs like basil and chives and have like a little kitchen garden indoors. We're probably gonna still have one. They're a lot of fun. Tiny Tim tomatoes, Space Master 80 cucumbers, heck, grow some lettuce indoors. It's a lot of fun. Those need to be, that space needs to be accounted for, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about getting overexcited, getting an early start, thinking in our mind that an early start is going to be better for our garden, when in fact it actually can set us back, cost us time, cost us money, and ultimately really cost us potential yields coming from the garden. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you all learned something new. Stay patient. Spring is right around the corner, I guarantee you. But when it comes to plants, it's not quite around the corner just yet. So stay patient. Stay patient. And but if you are in a warmer climate, the final thing I'll end with is this, which is that my general rule of thumb is that I will not start any crop more than 50% of its maturity indoors. So for instance, with tomatoes, if its maturity is around 75 days, I will go at about 35 days before my last frost date. Half of its maturity can generally be started indoors. And that's just kind of a good rule of thumb to go by. It's not a hard and fast rule, but that's what I found works really well for me, and that's kind of the metric that I go by. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you all learned something new. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and also let me know in the comments box down below if you've made this mistake. I know I have, so don't leave me, don't let me be the only one to admit this fault. But I know I made this. I get overexcited. I start planting early, and it's okay. We all make this mistake. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Grow bigger. We'll catch you guys later. See ya. Bye. Hey, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed, consider clicking this one. You'll probably enjoy it just as much. I want to thank you for your viewership, because without it, this channel would not be as amazing as it is. Also, if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It's free, and we upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. We also have vegetable seeds, fertilizer, or tools. If you need any of those, consider visiting MIgardener.com. Links will be in the description box below. We've got you covered. And as always, we'll see you all in the garden. Take care.